Sevgili İstanbullular, değerli
Dear residents of Istanbul and my brothers and sisters from the Umraniye district,
sizlere en kalbi
esteemed guests, I greet all of you
hürmetle
with
selamlıyorum.
heartfelt sentiments and with great love.
Açılış töreni vesilesiyle bir araya geldiğimiz
On the occasion of the opening ceremony, we have come together at the Umraniye Nations Garden,
hayırlı
which I
olmasını
hope will
Allah'tan diliyorum.
serve the district of Umraniye and its people well.
Ümraniye'ye 490 bin metrekare büyüklüğe sahip
With a
bahçesi sözü
size of 490 square meters, we had promised two nations gardens to Umraniye. The Hekimbaşı one is being inaugurated today, and hopefully it will become one of the landmarks of Umraniye, the nation's tea house, the observation desk, bicycle and walking tracks, children's playgrounds, sports facilities, picnic areas, vegetable and fruit cultivation areas, and with many other facilities and amenities. This will serve our citizens of every age. Another unique aspect of the Hekimbaşı Park is the 5,700 meter long noise barrier in order to prevent it from the noise that may come from the highway, which is right next to the park. Another important project that we're building in Umraniye, the Osman Gazi Forest Nation's Garden, is still underway. This is a climate-friendly green transition project, and I congratulate the Ministry of Environment, Urbanization and Climate Change, as well as other state organizations and the engineers and workers who built this important place. This is a beautiful city that is a heritage to us from Sultan Mehmet the Conqueror, and in order to bring new services and investment to this important city, we are working day and night. First of all, in 1995, I have taken up office as the mayor of the city of Istanbul, and I continued this journey of service to Istanbul as the prime minister and as the president. This is a heritage of our ancestors and a cradle of civilizations. And in order to bring this city of Istanbul to the level that it deserves, we have taken steps together, the outcomes of which we can observe all together. It was a city which did not have proper neighborhoods or roads or did not have good accessibility, with no running water and a bad smelling golden horn and a bad looking city of Istanbul with unhappy residents has now been turned into a global center of attraction. Now, as the first target of our 2053 vision, we are initiating the green revolution, green development revolution, and we are taking steps in order to bring services that will raise the quality of life of the residents of Istanbul. On different corners of our country, we are planning nations gardens, the majority of which are being built, are being prepared in Istanbul. So far, in 81 provinces, 404 Nations Garden parks have been planned with a total surface area of 66 million square meters. 100 of them have been completed and opened already. Our goal is to open all 404 Nations Gardens by the year 2023. Last week, in Ankara, the Başkent Nations Garden was inaugurated, and in 1 week, 1 million citizens have already visited this park. We are building 43 Nations Gardens in Istanbul, and in total, they will have a size of 17 million square meters. 13 of them have been completed and opened to the residents of Istanbul. But our largest project is the park that we are building at the former site of the Atatürk Airport, which will have a total surface area of 7 million square meters. At the Atatürk Airport, we'll turn it into a Nations Garden park, and among the urban parks in the world, it will be hopefully one of the top. My brothers and sisters, Umraniye was a district which suffered from non-planned urbanization. Those who are above a certain age would remember the 70s, 80s or 90s or the district of Umraniye in those decades. Umraniye could only be seen on the media when it comes to workers that were killed or explosions or other views, other pictures of misery and poverty. At the time, the municipality was run by the Republican People's Party, the CHP. CHP always reminds us of garbage dumps, mud, trenches and dirt. That's all that comes to mind. So when we talk about Umraniye, people would think of it as a faraway place which had nothing to do with Istanbul. But those are now distant memories which have nothing to do with today's Umraniye. So in order not to fall into the same trap, we should never forget those bad memories. So for a quarter of a century now, on every corner of Istanbul, in every street and neighborhood, in every district, we are preparing infrastructure and superstructure projects, and we continue doing so. When I became the mayor of the metropolitan city of Istanbul, how was Umraniye? But thankfully, after we came to office, as you can see, this is the current status of Umraniye. May God be pleased with you as well. If it was not for your support, we would not be able to come to the present day. The 1999 earthquake affected all cities of the region, and it also exposed the weak spots of the city of Istanbul as well. Within this frame, in order to the need to transition the structures, the buildings of Istanbul arose, and we have initiated urban transition efforts in Istanbul, and in a short amount of time we spread that to the rest of our 80 provinces. With the new social housing that we have recently completed, 2.5 million apartments have been transformed. We have just carried out the opening of the religious high school in this district, which is right next to the mosque that we inaugurated, where we performed a Friday prayer today. In addition to all of these developments, a very unique or unprecedented result. 10 million citizens' lives and properties have been secured thanks to this transition. With an investment value of 100 billion liras, the transformation of 300,000 additional apartments is underway. We still have a lot to do. The Prime Minister of Libya is going to come. The Yedam project of the Green Crescent will be visited as well. We have other meetings to carry out today. Hopefully, maybe another time.
İbrahim Hoca nasılsın? İyi misin? Maşallah. Hanımlar çok diri. Çok canlı. Ve ben
The ladies are cheering today, and I believe that with the sisters that are here today, we will gain the victory of 2023. We can already announce the victory.
gençlerle inanıyorum ki buradan ilan ediyorum.
And with the youth as well, we can announce the victory already. And with the main organization, we can already see our victory that we're marching towards here.
Buna hazırız değil mi?
We are ready for this, aren't we?
Hazırız değil mi? Şu güzelim millet bahçesine bak.
Look at this nation's garden, which is so beautiful.
Böyle az önce içinde dolaştık.
We have
Gerçekten
walked
modern
around inside the park, and it is what the modern Umraniye deserves. I congratulate everyone who made efforts for this park.
İstanbul'da 68
In Istanbul,
alandaki 35 bin binada yer alan
in 60 risky areas, there are 35,000 risky apartments which are going to be transformed in different parts of the city. In order to establish new residence areas, we have designated 49 reserve areas. And in line with our projects for 50,000 and 100,000 additional social apartments, 21,000 new buildings are currently under construction. In line with rent aid and nationalization, 5 billion liras of resources have been allocated and used. With the infrastructure, the Fikirtepe neighborhood only hosts 15,000 apartments and 60,000 residents. The first stage of the project was 1,100 apartments and offices which have been submitted to their owners. Please deliver toys to the children here.
aynı bölgedeki yeni ihale
The new tender in the same area, the destruction and reconstruction efforts continue. In the Kirazlıtepe area of Üsküdar district, there are ongoing and already completed projects. Some people have already started living in their newly submitted apartments. From street renovation to building facade renovation, many projects, many services are being made for our residents of Istanbul.
bugün İstanbul'la birlikte 6 ilimizi kapsayan Marmara Denizi
The Marmara Sea and the islands environment protection zone will be announced today, which will cover the city of Istanbul and 5 other provinces. The Marmara has connections to the Black Sea and to Hungary. It is one of the rare areas which reflect the natural characteristics, and with the new decision, historical, cultural, aesthetic, and important values of the Marmara Sea will be preserved in order to follow the environmental problems of the area and to solve them. Istanbul is a global brand, and in line with the reputation, history, and beauty of this city, we are going to elevate it. No matter how much certain groups, the CHP mentality, say that the oppression started in 1453. They are making their real intentions evident, but still we continue on our vision for 2053. With the conquest and with the meaning, we will continue giving the message of our new vision to the young generation. We have inaugurated the Hagia Sophia as a mosque, and we perform our Friday prayers there. We perform our daily prayers there, and happy we are. All together. The history of the city, the culture, the potential, the dynamism, and the energy of the city. All of our steps, our efforts, all of our intentions, which are in line with the beauties of the city, are cherished by us. On the other hand, any attack to the richnesses of Istanbul will be buried 7 layers below the ground. It's our duty to do so. We have inaugurated the Atatürk Cultural Center. We built the Opera Palace, and right next to it, in Taksim, we have built a mosque as well. That is our duty.
Kardeşlerim, Türkiye'yi Cumhuriyet tarihinin en büyük demokratik
Turkey is witnessing the biggest democracy and economy development project of its history, the 2023 targets. And many of the people who have designed this important project were people who come from municipality administrations. Their experiences in the municipalities gave them guidance in running the country in education, health, justice, security, and on energy and agriculture. In order to elevate our country on these pillars, we have initiated an important effort from industry to sports to environment to social aid. We have spread this effort and we have come to the current level. There were attacks of terror groups, the tutelage, coup attempts, and global economic traps. We have overcome all of such burdens, and we have continued working in order to bring our country to the level that it deserves in the world. In the Gabar mountain, we were able to bury terror underground. In the Besler river, we were able to bury down terror. And similarly, Mr. Kemal and his followers, his team, they worked with the PKK terror group, but we have buried them as well. And what do they do currently? The head of the terror group is in prison, and they are trying to still act with them. The Good Party, the CHP, and other parties are acting with them as well. And what happened to you? You claim to be against terror. You claimed that you were against terror. How quickly do you maneuver? But we will not allow this country, we will not leave this country to terrorists and terror supporters. I'm not going to name them because there is no need. As long as you support the alliance, the People's Alliance, we, as a nation, you don't have to worry about the rest.
Şimdiden biz 2023'e hazırlanıyor muyuz?
Are we getting ready for 2023? Are we going door to door?
Gevşemek yok. İşi rehavete kapılmak
We should not slow down. We should not give in to lethargy, and hopefully in 2023 we will gain a major victory as the alliance. With the help of God and support of our nation, we will do 5 times or 10 times more projects as were done in the history of the Republic. Turkey's reputation and strength was demonstrated from diplomacy to military victories. All of our friends and enemies had to accept our strength. With our drones, different types of drones, thankfully we are present everywhere. We are present in Libya, in Azerbaijan, in Karabakh, and we are everywhere.
Düşünün, Suriye'de terör örgütüyle mücadelemizi
In
veriyoruz.
Syria, we are fighting against the terror group,
Mücadele verirken
and as we do so, Mr. Kemal
Suriye ile
is
ahbaplık yapıyor.
trying to establish friendship with Syria. But Mr. Kemal,
Teröristlerle beraber ol.
you can continue working with the terrorists of Syria. You can continue working with PKK, PYD, and YPG. We are going to bury them as well.
Kardeşlerim, nasıl her hizmetin sağladığı bir kolaylık, her eserin getirdiği bir güzellik,
There is beauty or ease with every new project and service, or pride with every new achievement, and but there are also costs to all of them.
mücadelenin bedelini
The cost of fighting against tutelage is the obstacles that we face in politics.
siyasatılma tehdidine varan
Even the threats of closing our party and similar illegal attempts. And as we fight against terror groups,
binlerce insan
thousands of our people's and security forces' lives have been lost. On 15th of July, the FETÖ terror group stood against us,
terör örgütüyle biz bu mücadelede
and with the in our fight against the terror group, we have lost 251 martyrs, and more than 2,000 people have been injured and became veterans. But thanks to their spirituality, you can rest assured their spirits are always with us.
çünkü biz onlarla beraber ey şehit oğlu şehit isteme benden makber sana avlusunu açmıştır
Because
peygamber diyerek
we
yolda yürüdük.
walked with them on the same journey.
Sınırlarımıza dayanan tehditleri
There have been threats along our borders, and thanks to the military operations and the bravery of our troops, we have gained a success. There were attacks in order to alienate our country, but with our stance, we were able to disrupt those plans. With the impact of we are still experiencing the impact of global economic crises, but in the past 19 years we have established a strong infrastructure, and every time we run into a new global crisis, we see the significance of this strong infrastructure. For instance, our city hospitals. In health, with our city hospitals, we were able to make a major leap in health. In Sancaktepe, we have an urban hospital. And you know how quickly we were able to build it. We built it in 45 days. In only 45 days, we were able to build the city hospital in the Sancaktepe area. And we have built another one on the European side of the city.
Yanında doktor var. Sor ona sana anlatsın. Sen doktora sor.
You can ask your doctor.
Değerli kardeşlerim, biz bu gayretle yola devam ediyoruz.
And we continue on this journey with this level of effort. If it was not for the major transition that we have made possible during the coronavirus pandemic, we could have had much more trouble. With the structural transformations, we have built our resilience against internal and external shocks. And thanks to this new economic structure, when it comes to investment, production, exports, and employment, we still have high goals and we continue on our path. And my brothers and sisters, Europe is very surprised, and the world is surprised as they see our dedicated march, because they did not expect this from us. But currently, as they see the way we progress, they are shocked. In an environment where the whole world is shrinking economically, we are continuously growing at higher speeds. We are not only resilient against shocks, but we are also building, we continue our dedication to build the big and strong Turkey. Hopefully, by the end of this year, our growth rate will be above 9%. The world is facing the threat of climate change and is having challenges about it. But we have declared our green development revolution, and we have created a new and coherent roadmap for ourselves, from south borders to the Caucasus, or from Mediterranean to the Black Sea. All of our corners are seeing security challenges, but we, on the other hand, are not only protecting our own interests, but we are still emitting security and support to our friends. Yes, we have paid the price and we continue paying. Hopefully, once we start extracting natural gas from the Black Sea, both the state and my people will gain from it.
Değerli kardeşlerim, demokrasi bu kadar güçlü. Ve evvelallah
A very strong democracy, and we are a country which is ever strengthening its democracy in the past 2 decades. And with the steps that we take towards strengthening our democracy, hopefully, thankfully, we have become an exemplary country in the world, and we are seeing returns already. And for future generations, we are going to be leaving behind a very strong legacy. But the ones who are against us are not sitting idly. With terror groups, coup plotters, and fifth arm activities, and with the possibilities of the distorted structure in the world, they continue attacking our country. The rules are being applied with double standards in the world, and the current time period is rare in this regard. Every kind of rights and legality is ignored when it comes to attacking our country. But on the other hand, when we protect our own interests, or when we take steps that are necessitated by this, they come together, and their bad voices resonate everywhere every time we try to defend ourselves. But we do not pay attention to those groups, but we only look at our nation, look at what they need or what they want. So for this reason, for our country and our nation, 2023 will be an important turning point, and we are right. We will be a single nation, a single flag, a single state, and a single homeland. And with these principles, we will continue on our roadmap, and we will continue this rising.
Çok çok teşekkür ediyorum.
Thank you very much.
Yolunuz açık olsun. Yarın inşallah
And tomorrow I will be in Batman
ve Ilısu Barajı'nın
and
açılışını yapacağız.
I will inaugurate the
Onlar
Ulusu Dam.
iş yapıyor.
They only talk, but we work.
Cumhurbaşkanımız Sayın Recep Tayyip Erdoğan'a konuşmaları için çok teşekkür ediyor ve Sayın Cumhurbaşkanımızı bir müddet sahnede misafir ediyoruz. Sayın Cumhurbaşkanımıza günün anısına hediyelerini takdim etmek üzere Ümraniye Belediye Başkanımız Sayın İsmet Yıldırım'ı sahneye davet ediyoruz. Buyurunuz lütfen. Sayın Cumhurbaşkanımız, değerli konuklar, hediye Rodos kuşatması Fethi 1522, matrakçı Nasuh Efendi'ye ait Süleymanname adlı kitapta yer alan bu eser, Rodos kuşatmasını anlatan 3 tasvirden ikincisidir.